It's actually at the stage where it is problematic if you are involved anything in the WNBA to not hate Caitlin Clark. They were like, in the NBA, if you were...
The Indiana Fever were practicing, joking, and feeling like sisters 1 minute, and then everything fell apart. Suddenly, a bombshell landed. Caitlin Clark suspended. 2 more names fell to the ground like broken glass before the WNBA could even breathe. Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hull left the league, leaving the Fever behind. Together, the 3 of them finished. However, the reason for this is that nobody anticipated it. Before we start into this whirlwind of insanity, slam that like button, subscribe, and brace yourself because this might be the most emotional Fever storyline ever recounted. It started on a calm morning in Indianapolis. Just one email. Caitlin Clark has a 1-game suspension. No details, no explanation, no warning. Coaches froze. The players gazed. Supporters fell silent. And Sophie Cunningham. She didn't flinch. After slamming her locker, she muttered, "If she's gone, I'm gone." Lexi heard that and without hesitation echoed the same.
Happens when you're next to Caitlin Clark. You get access to things that you normally wouldn't get access to. And I think that's obvious for everybody to see. When you're next to Caitlin Clark, it's gonna, instead of people looking at it like she's dimming everybody else, like she's turning up the lights on everybody else and making everybody else shine brighter. Sophie Cunningham is a prime example. What nobody really, like, people say, oh, she's a beautiful blonde, blah, blah, blah. She looked the same way last year. What nobody really checking for? You get her next to Caitlin Clark. Now she's on Good Morning America. Now she got Arby's deals. Now she's
I'm also not staying. Nobody knew how deep their bond had developed. Nobody realized these 3 had been bonded together since training camp. But today, the world found out. It started innocent. During warm-ups, Caitlin jokes around. 4 team flights, Lexi brings refreshments. During difficult practices, Sophie stood up for Caitlin. Golf excursions. Viral photographs. Late-night discussions about noise, celebrity, and pressure. Nobody anticipated this triumvirate, yet it ended up being impenetrable. They weren't teammates. They weren't colleagues. They were family. Thus, Caitlin's suspension didn't feel like a punishment. Felt like an attack. Alarms were going off within the Fever offices. The franchise will fail if Caitlin departs. If Sophie leaves, leadership evaporates. The cohesiveness of the squad rapidly dies if Lexi departs. This triumvirate was more than just well-liked. They constituted the culture. The phones kept ringing. Emergency meetings erupted. Coaches begged for answers.
Game and come into this game and for her to do the same on your side.
Yeah, well, I remember last year when we were here, I was talking to Nelly about her shoes because obviously, like in the basketball world, like you don't like you wear the team uniform, like it's your shoes that are the cool thing. So I was like asking her about her shoes and she was like, oh yeah, like these are kind of basic. And then it's been cool to kind of watch over the course of the last year. She got to put in a lot of time to create her own PE and very unique to her and what she's passionate about in herself. And obviously somebody that's very, very deserving. And it's been at the top of the sport for a long time now. So I've played a few rounds with her even outside of here for some other stuff. And it's really fun to get to watch her do her thing up close. Like, talk about making it look easy. Like it just is so easy for her, but at the same time, like she's just a good person. Like she's chill. She has fun with you out on the course, but yeah, her shoes are pretty cool. I'll make sure they get home safely and I'm going to be rocking them.
However, the 3 had already decided. The moment fans will replay forever. Sophie quietly preparing her stuff. Lexi folding Caitlin's hoodie. Caitlin was scarcely able to contain her tears as she stared at her sneakers. Just heartache, no drama, no shouting. We are all suspended if they suspend you, Sophie. Lexi, we're not letting you walk out alone. Caitlin, you guys don't have to do this. Sophie gave a headshake. We've already made a decision. Lexi smiled feebly. Together, we depart. There was silence, then mayhem. News exploded. On live TV, commentators were in a panic. Fans flooded social media. What is happening? The WNBA is over. This can't be real. The league was in a panic. Calls to agents, hasty comments, damage control. Nothing was effective. The narrative was overly expansive. Walking out for each other are 3 players. Unprecedented. And behind the scenes, a mysterious door opened. Project B is a potent new league that offers deals worth millions of dollars. Just basketball, no politics, no salary limitations, no suspensions due to scandal, and no media pressure. Rumors circulate. Project B made one offer. We'll take all 3 of you together. Sophie arched an eyebrow. Lexi froze. Caitlin muttered. Collectively. Indeed. Collectively. It was dangerously seductive for a triumvirate that would not part from one another. Supporters were incensed. Outside Gainbridge Fieldhouse, protests started. Bring them back. Now fix this. Our 3 are what we want. The Fever Group was aware that this was not your typical situation. This was an emotional implosion of an entire franchise.
Remember, you just lose these players straight up. You don't get anything back for the players. They're gone. We didn't get anything for Temi, did we? No, exactly. Let's take a look at the list that I've concocted. Number 1, you gotta court Caitlin Clark. The General. Last year, she averaged 16.5 points per game over a 13-game period, 8.8 assists per game, 5 rebounds per game, 1.6 steals per game. She is the franchise. She is the captain. She is the leader. She is the soul. She is the sun of this solar system. And everything needs to be built around her, predicated around her. The pieces need to be put in place this year, unlike last year, to get the most out of Caitlin Clark's abilities. That means when free agency hits, you don't sign 36, 37, 35, 34. You don't sign.
The 3 sat side by side in a quiet back room, their hands clasped, their emotions burdened, and their eyes red. Caitlin, I don't want to leave. Lexi, but we can't stay if this is how they treat us. Sophie inhaled deeply. Then we stand together. One decision, one voice, silence, then 3 nods. They make their way through the tunnel. Sophie on the left, Lexi on the right, Caitlin in the middle. Fans screamed. Reporters flocked to the scene. Like lightning, cameras flashed. However, the 3 didn't pause, didn't turn around, and didn't falter. Together, they made their way toward an uncertain future. 3 stars, 1 friendship, 1 exit, and the WNBA left in absolute chaos.
Coach, and I literally had no words, but after soaking in, I really appreciated the opportunity that Caitlin and Annika have really given me in Cambridge. But even now, I still need to relish this, and I think I need to soak it in. So if you can ask me 3 days later, maybe I'll tell you.
Tom?
Hey, Caitlin, Tom D'Angelo from the Palm Beach Post. You appeared as though on your tee shot at 10 was kind of a relief after a couple of